How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Aggies' big 76-68 victory over the Lobos Saturday night. I made a video yesterday about former Aggie Keelan Dorsey balling out. He really wanted me to get a video out for that, so I decided to. Didn't have time to get this video out just yet. I know it's the one you guys have been waiting for. Really excited to talk about it and break it down. Right off the bat, I just want to mention that I think this was the most complete game the Aggies have played so far this year. I think it's a very, very good sign that they've improved each game. You look at that first game against Adams State, you survived a scare, won by 11 points. It was one of those games where you knew we probably weren't going to lose, but it was just a little bit too closer than you would like. Got to within 20, and then they came back, made it within 10. They just were never completely out of it. And against New Mexico Highlands, had a little bit of a slow start, only up by 5 at halftime, but really played a lot better in the second half. And I was glad that fans weren't too upset about that because we only won by 16, but I thought a lot of people were going to think that we should have won way more against a D2 school. You play against a pretty solid team in the Lobos. I thought they put together a really good game. Still won by 8. Man, that environment was insanely good. I think the crowd was a big reason we won that game. I think Hooten said in the presser, obviously the team that did what they did, they're the ones playing in the court, they're the reason they won. But I think the sixth man, the crowd, the student section was awesome. I was there helping out with the stats. I was right there on the court, and let me tell you guys what, that court was shaking, man. Really, really good game overall. Really competitive, close game. That was one of the better rivalry games I've seen in a while. And I know toward the end of the stretch, the refs were maybe being a little bit biased toward UNM. But at the end of the day, the Aggies still secured the victory. You know, there's some calls that went our way at the end. And the biggest thing is that the Aggies made free throws. You look at Sir Malonga, he only had 4 points total, only shot a few shots, but he made his free throws, which is huge. I know Augustine he missed one late in the clutch, but he grabbed 7 rebounds, a lot of being offensive. Same with Elijah Elliott. He finished with 11 points, went 6 for 8 from the line, I believe is what Coach Hooten said. Jamel Jones did miss one free throw that could have been clutch, but shout out to Jamel though. You know, first half didn't score a single point. Couldn't find it offensively. He had a chance to hit a buzzer beater at the end of the half to make it 30-27 us, and that would have, set the crowd to go crazy. We were up by 10 early. I knew that lead wasn't going to last. In rival games, 10-point leads are literally nothing. I mean, they're never anything, but especially in a rival game like that. So I wasn't too surprised that we blew it, but you came back and got it. We got down by as much as 5 in the second half, so nothing too crazy. What I also liked about the Aggies, too, is every time we needed to hit a big shot, we hit it. I was very surprised to see we only shot 10 for 32 from 3, just about 31%. But I feel like we made every big shot that mattered the most. And honestly, if you're going to shoot just over 30% from 3, not shoot the greatest, I'd rather you make those big shots than make them early and, than not. I haven't really seen a whole lot of people talk about it, but I really like how Gabe Pickens kind of set the tone in a way. He was really, I don't know how many turnovers he had. I don't think he had many. Chris Terrell did really good at point guard. Same with Elijah Elliott. Overall, our guards played very well, very unselfish, did a lot of great things overall. Anthony was easily, the player of the game in my opinion. I know Coach Hooten said that Augustine Ekwe was the player of the game, which rightfully so. I mean, he had 7 rebounds, a lot of clutch ones. But Anthony had 16 points, 4 for 8 from 3. I believe he was 5 for 9 total. And like I said before the year started, I know he was kind of sluggish to start the year, those scrimmages and stuff. But since the season's actually started, he's played very well. And again, you can just tell by these first 3 games, like I've said, before, you can tell he's going to be a guy we go to from threes. I think Jamel's still our best player for sure, but I think Anthony's our best shooter. And that's no nod to Jamel. Jamel's an amazing shooter too. I just feel like Anthony's a guy that, you can just rely on him. And both those guys, when they shoot, same with Jalen Randall off the bench, he had a great game, 10 points. We had 4 Aggies in double figures, all guards, did a lot of great things. A lot of their shots all look smooth. It doesn't look like they're going to miss. And they shot free throws a lot better. I'm not sure what the percentage was, but it was a lot improved. We improved from game 1 to game 2, and then from game 2 to game 3. Every game is gonna be different. Like it'd be awesome for us to improve each game, but it's not gonna be like that way, right? Every game is gonna have your off games. They're always gonna give their all. They give their all on defense. Their shooting percentage wasn't the highest, but again, they made their shots matter most, and their defense was amazing. Came up with some big steals. Jacoby got a big bucket in the paint. Anthony had one nice drive. Even though he's more known for his shooting, he's got some decent drives, and I feel like he's having an off night, which is gonna happen for everybody. He did a really good job of getting to the rim. And like I said, Jamel, no points in the first half, 15 in the second. What a way to respond. I had a feeling he was gonna go on a scoring stretch at some point, and I think he scored like 8 to 10 straight points at one point, which really helped us out a lot, big time. I wish the post would have dominated a little bit better. That was a point of emphasis going into the game. We have a lot more size than they do. Sear finished with 4 points, Augustine with 2, but again, those 7 rebounds are huge. Sear made his free throws, and they'll just improve as time goes on. These guys are asked a lot. Again, Augustine's a freshman, and Sear hasn't had a whole lot of college basketball playing experience, hasn't been asked to do a lot of things, but I think he can be a big-time scorer. Hooten also sent the presser. He's never had this much size before. He's never had a guy like Sear who can, easily score the ball, maybe be a 10-point per game guy. I know at that first game, he hasn't, done a whole lot, but he's a guy that, you can rely on. Can hit big shots, had a big dunk to start the half last game, hit those free throws, had an and one, to start the half against Highland. So he's kind of like our energizer bunny a little bit. And I want to say that Jamel Jones is the one that found him the most. So their connection is really good. And again, these guys are all new, playing with each other. You have about 11 or 12 new guys. As the season goes on, they're going to become more comfortable with each other. 3-0 to start the year for the second straight year. Have beat the Lobos 2 straight times. and could be 3 straight. We should have beaten them at home the last time. We actually haven't beaten them at home in 7 years until now, so that's great. Our next opponent is Sanford at home. I feel like it's a game you need to win. We're 3-0 right now. I feel the Lobos are a little bit better than Sanford. Sanford's not a bad team by any means. They have a dude averaging like nearly 25 a game. He's like their Jamel Jones. He's a great player. I feel like we have the home crowd. It's gonna be hard because it's that Friday. I know a lot of people are leaving for Thanksgiving, students-wise especially. So hopefully the student section can still be somewhat good. It's obviously not gonna be as good as it was against UNM, but hopefully it's good enough, and hopefully a lot of fans still show up, especially since we're starting off 3-0, just beat the Lobos. I think that should get a lot of people there at the stadium. If the Aggies start 4-0, it'll be their first 4-0 start since the 2011-12 season. I believe they had 26 wins that year under Marvin Menzies. I could be wrong, but I think it was something around the lines of that. I think I saw Adam Young post something about that, which Adam Young knows me by name now, by the way. I was helping out with stats for the volleyball game on Thursday, and I'll kind of help go deliver the stats to the media. And, he's always just like, said thanks, whatever. Like some of the other people working with have said something because he's the main guy doing everything, so he can't really do a whole lot at once. But I went to go get the stat sheet to him. He's like, oh, thanks, Marshall. I was like, oh, I'm honored. I'm actually connected with him on LinkedIn. I've talked to him a few times, but I never actually introduced myself, which maybe I should have done that. But maybe Michael's talked about me. I don't know. But I thought it was pretty cool that he knows my name. So there's that. One thing I will say too is that Kyrie Smollin did not see any action. I'm not sure if he's ever had a game where he hasn't played, but I think he knows where he's at. He knows that. I think Kuden said he's just not in shape yet, just not ready yet. I'm sure as time goes on, he's gonna be able to play. He got a big bucket, against Highlands the other day. Really looking forward to him, hopefully having more of a role in this team as time goes on. There's just so many skilled players on this team. I was actually talking to Keelan. He was saying this team looks really good, and he likes the way they're looking. And I just told him, like I told you guys, there's so many great players on this team that are so used to being one of the number one options on their other college teams, whether it's D1, JUCO, whatever it may be. Now they're coming here, had to step into new roles, including himself. I thought he was a guy that was going to come in here and start. I was wrong about that, but I think eventually he can hopefully carve out a good, rotational role and do a lot of great and big things for us. I'm sure he obviously wasn't happy that he didn't play. I'm sure he's a little upset about that. But deep down, I saw after the game, a lot of guys were celebrating. You got guys like Christian Villegas off the bench, Tayshawn Eaglestaff, Omar Smith, didn't play. I haven't had any action this season just yet. Obviously, Kyrie's just played a little bit, but all those guys, again, I'm not them, right? And I'm sure they want to play, obviously, who wouldn't? But they're not super, super upset. They're not bringing down the team. They know what's best for the team. They're playing their role, doing what's best. Same with Marco Doyle. He hasn't gotten in the game yet. We'd love to see those guys eventually. The game's just been super close for them to get in just yet. Really hoping we see them soon, maybe on Friday if we're able to build out a big lead. Stanford's not a bad team by any means, so it's going to be hard to do so. That's exactly how it was with UNM. I knew it was going to happen. It'd be nice. We went up by 10 early. Obviously, it'd be super ideal to keep that momentum going and go by 20, but it's so hard to do that in a rival game. So again, I wasn't surprised that it didn't go that way, but was really happy they covered up the win. But going back to what I was saying, those guys, I saw some videos posted in the locker room, and they were just really hyped up. They, the way they were cheering, you would have thought they played and scored 20 points, and that's the way it should be. Every guy's, going to get their opportunity eventually, and I'm really hoping that when they do get to the end of the game, whatever it may be, playing at, those the last couple minutes, hopefully they can just go out there and just do their thing and do the best they can to, earn as many minutes as possible. 3-0 for the second straight year, beat the Lobos for a second straight year. This is a team that can be really good. I think they've shown that. Again, after those first 2 games, people might have kind of been like, oh, why do we only win by this amount of points against this team? But I think this game proved that we have the potential to be a very, very solid team. I think it's a team that can definitely have a winning season, win at least 20 games. Worst case scenario, at least have a winning year and hopefully get at least 1 win in the Conference USA tournament, if not more, and make the NCAA tournament. It's just so hard with the Conference USA because you only get 1 team that gets in there. I really wish it was a few more. I feel like Conference USA is a competitive conference to the point where I feel like 2 or 3 teams it'd be cool if they could get in. Let me know what you guys think about that. Would you guys like to see that? Do you guys like the way it is right now? Because I understand. I think last year you had 14 SEC teams out of 16 get in. Kind of annoying. I think Arkansas a few years ago, 8-10 in conference, and they got in as an 8th seed. If you have a losing record in conference, I don't care what conference you're in, you should not get in. I know the overall record's always going to be good because they play cupcakes all the time. You can go 12-1 non-conference and then go 8-10. It's come on, dude. I feel like some of those teams just don't deserve to be in there. Again, I know they're playing really, really good competition and they could dog walk anybody in Conference USA probably. But it's just one of those things man, give these other teams a chance. Let's go. That's going to close it out for the video today. Just gave my thoughts on how we played. I know I didn't talk a whole lot about what UNM and what they did, but obviously this is an Aggie basketball channel. There'll probably be other videos where I talk more about the other team and how they're doing. And it's not that I didn't want to talk about them because they're our rival, because they put up a good fight. I think they're going to have a good year. I saw a lot of Lobo fans really, really upset about the loss. And yeah, it's a rival game. I understand. But at the same time, they played very well. Eric Golan's a great coach. He knows what he's doing. I think they have a solid team. I think I saw someone say this is the worst Lobo team they've had in 10 years. I'm like, I think that's far from the truth. I think this team's really, really good. It's just, a hard-fought match. There's rumors that it might go back to 2 games a year. I don't mind the 1. I think it's cool. 2 would be obviously cool. That's what they're used to. Big rival game. But, most rivals in the country only play each other once. Got to get other games scheduled. It's hard to get a lot scheduled. I think Hooten said in the presser too, if we had to play them in a week, it'd be kind of tough to do. It just is what it is at the end of the day. That's another thing to leave in the comments. Let me know if you guys like the one game a year, if you want to see two, how that goes. Obviously, UTEP's going to be a different conference. We've always played them twice a year regardless. We'll see how that goes for the future. Same with football. Trying to get that situated. Play them in football this week. Probably be the last time we play them for a while. I'm actually going to be at that game. Will be awesome. I was talking to Michael, my boss and stuff for the athletics media relations, and he was asking if I could go out there and help him out with stats, I believe, this Saturday. It's only a 40-minute drive, and I've actually never watched an Aggie game for any sport on the road. Only been here for Aggies. There's always been times playing against UTEP or Albuquerque I could go out to, but I'm a college student trying to save money. But off the media pass, be able to get it for free. Get the Sun Bowl. Sun Bowl is an amazing stadium. I know UTEP's a rival, but you gotta give credit where credit's due. That is an amazing stadium. I will talk some trash. They don't fill it up that good, but it's a really, really nice stadium. Gonna be a pretty even matchup in that football game too. I know this is a basketball channel, but I think it's gonna be a really, really good football game. We'd love to get the win, especially since we didn't beat UNM. It would suck if we lost to both our rivals 2 years in a row in football. Maybe that means in basketball we'll do good, because I've been telling everybody that it's like pretty much against the law for both our football and basketball team to be good. I don't know what it is. The last time they were both good was 2017. If you look at our basketball team, they've been better for years. Football team's never really been that good. 2022 and 23, football team's amazing. 2 straight bowl games, one including a 10-win season. Aggie basketball has losing records both years, and then Aggie basketball has a winning season last year, just over 500. Aggie football goes 3-9. This year, they're 3-7. Best case scenario, they go 5-7, have a losing record. And then there's sometimes where 5-win teams will get a bowl game. It's pretty rare, but it happens if they don't have enough teams. So somehow, some way, some miracle way that Aggies were even to get a bowl game, the highest amount of wins they could have is 6, and they'd still have a losing record. And then obviously, Aggie basketball this year is off to a 3-0 start. Again, have the chance to start off 4-0. Then they play against a really, really tough UC Irvine team. Not saying we can't win that game, but it'd be very, very ideal if we do beat Sanford, go 4-0, just in case we do lose to UC Irvine, we're still 4-1, and not 3-2 like we did last year and drop a few in a row. Play against Georgia State, and they're not a bad team by any means, I don't think, but again, another team that they wouldn't be able to beat. A lot of these games early in the year were actually favored to win. If you could look at ESPN analytics, obviously the over-under for this game, I think it's given us like a 63% chance to win. We'll see how it all goes. Every game's different. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the game and for the future of this team and how you think they're going to do. Really excited to keep on covering this team throughout the year, and we'll see y'all later.